I rewatched the very first episode of Silo before this season 3 premiere dropped, and I caught something that hit completely different this time around. There is this moment where Holston is sitting in his apartment, alone, staring at a mirror he is convinced someone is watching him through, and the first time I saw that scene, I thought he was paranoid, maybe even a little unhinged. But after watching Who Are You?, I realized he was not paranoid at all. He was grieving. He had spent 2 years sitting in that apartment knowing his wife had been right about everything, and he had not believed her. 2 full years of that. And that is really what this episode is about. Season 3, episode 1 is called Who Are You? And on the surface it is about Juliette losing her memory. But underneath all of that, the premiere is quietly asking the audience to remember how we got here in the first place. It is asking us to go back to Allison and Holston Becker and the chain of events that cracked this entire world open. We are going back to the beginning. It all starts with a guy named George Wilkins. George ran a repair stall in the mids, fixing things for people, but what most residents did not know is that he was obsessed with relics, items from before the rebellion. Possessing one could get you sent to the mines, but George did not care. He had gotten his hands on an old hard drive, and he knew there were files buried on it, but he could not crack them open on his own. So on Freedom Day, George puts in a repair call. Now here is the thing, this was not some random service request. George specifically wanted Allison Becker to be the one sent to him, because Allison worked in IT and she had actually posted instructions on the bulletin board about how to recover deleted files, but they were quickly removed by Bernard. She was the only person in the silo who could help him access what was on that drive. Allison shows up at his stall and George walks her through what he has found. She gets into the directory, starts pulling up the files, and the second she sees blueprints of the silo buried in there, she stops cold. She realizes this is not just some old broken drive. This is a red level relic, the kind of thing that gets people disappeared. She tells George to get rid of it, agrees she will not tell Holston, and she leaves. But she goes back. She cannot help it. Allison was already someone who thought the silo had too many rules, who questioned why knowledge from before the rebellion was banned in the first place. So she goes back to George, and this time they dig deeper. They open one more file marked Jane Carmody cleaning. And what they see is a moving image of the outside world, green and alive and nothing like the toxic wasteland on the display upstairs. That one file changed everything. Now here is where it gets personal for Allison. While all of this is happening with the hard drive, she and Holston are on their third and final attempt to have a baby. The silo runs a lottery system for who gets to try to conceive, and if you fail 3 times, that is it. You do not get another chance. They had been trying nearly every day for close to a year, and nothing was working. A woman named Gloria Hildebrandt starts putting ideas in Allison's head. She asks Allison if she has ever considered that maybe there are greater forces at work, that maybe she is not the kind of person they want to have a child. 3 failed attempts is starting to look intentional. Holston wants to send the psych team after Gloria, but Allison talks him out of it, because deep down, a part of her is already wondering the same thing. And then comes the moment that breaks her. With her year almost up, the day before Dr. Leonard is supposed to reinsert her birth control implant, Allison takes a knife and performs surgery on herself. She finds the implant still inside her body. It was never removed. Dr. Leonard faked the entire procedure. Every month of trying, every failed attempt, every night of wondering what was wrong with her, all of it was designed. The silo decided she was not going to have a child, and they let her believe it was her own body failing her. Allison confronts Holston with what she found, and Holston, being Holston, panics. He takes off running to get a doctor to get help because his wife just cut herself open, but that is exactly the window Allison needed. While he is scrambling for assistance, she makes her way to the level 1 cafeteria and tells everyone the display is a lie. By the time Holston catches up, he tries to calm her down, tries to talk her out of it. But Allison knows what she knows now. There is no going back from this. She looks at him, tells him she loves him, and shouts that she wants to go outside. Before she actually goes out, Holston gets his last moments with her. And even now, even after everything, Allison is still trying to convince him. She tells him they have been lied to, all of it. But Holston is not there yet, so Allison makes him a deal. If everything they have been taught about the outside is true, if it really is a toxic wasteland, she will not clean. She will just walk away. But if they have been lied to, if the world out there is not what the display shows, she will clean the censor. That way Holston will know. That one act would be her way of telling him from the other side of that airlock that something is deeply wrong about the silo. And when Holston watches the display, Allison cleans. And now we are left with Holston, the sheriff of Silo 18, the man whose entire job is to uphold the rules, watching his wife walk out of an airlock because she believed the world was alive and he did not back her up. He stood there. He watched her clean the censor just like she said she would. He watched her try to walk up the hill, and then he watched her stumble and collapse before she even made it to the top. She died right there on the display, and Holston could not look away. Except this time it was not just another cleaner, it was Allison. He starts digging, and the deeper he digs, the more he realizes she was right, the more guilty he felt. Before going out to clean, he writes a note naming Juliette Nichols as his successor, etches the word truth on the back of his sheriff's badge, locks himself in a holding cell, and tells Deputy Marnes he wants to go outside.